think the best message that I have is that the body never makes mistakes. I would like you to become a believer, every one of you. Believe in nature, in God, in your body, that it's really a holy temple and it has its own wisdom and intellect. I was trying hard to deliver that message. The next message, my message that I think is very important, is that you can and you better be intuitive instead of trying to rationalize everything, because you can think science knows everything and I should do what science tells. Let's see, science says that it's good to pour nitrates and pesticides in the soil. It is scientifically approved method. Do you agree with that method? No. So you're here anti-scientific. Science says it's a good thing to put immunization in children. Do you agree with that? No. So science says chemotherapy is the best solution for cancer. Should we go and continue rationalize? I'm telling you that science doesn't know everything today. We keep discovering new elements in human body that we didn't know, and we probably don't know a lot of it today yet. I'm trying to convince you to be more intuitive, and I believe you could do it. But the most important message that I could give to you is the message about 12 steps to raw food, because I believe that cooked food is addiction, and I'm going to go into that. But in order to go there, I would like to ask you, please relax. I need to feel that communication, because I will have to literally undress in front of you mentally, and it's not easy to go naked in front of people when they sit in tension, so relax and let me feel that. Your smiles are very helpful. Because there are so many of you, and I would like to be in touch with every single pair of eyes, every soul here, because my heart is pounding. It's a very hard psychological program that we're going into. Okay, good. Let's start. I believe that cooked food is addictive because my life led me into that. I was teaching about raw food for 6 long years, and I think I did a very good job. I think my classes were interesting. I got lots of very, very excellent responses from people, but nobody went on raw food. I had wonderful response, but 0 results. 0 success. People did not go on raw food. They told me they understood that raw food is the solution, but they told me they would love to go raw, but nobody went raw. Less than 2% of my students were still raw after 30 days. Less than 2%. And 0 after Christmas and Thanksgiving. 0. And I was doing it for 6 years, trying to apply different methods. I was trying to divide my classes into 10-week breaks, and every week I will commute, if it takes 300 miles or 500 miles every week, to the same destination to teach the class. I was very committed just to make it possible for people to stay raw. And in between I'll call them in the middle of the week and I'll ask them, so what did you have for lunch today? I was like a police at a certain time. And it didn't work. And then I was trying to make my classes entertaining, and they were very entertaining, and it didn't work. And I was trying to make people meet each other together for 2 months and make food together, and it didn't work. Nothing worked. And only when my friend took me to AA meeting, it finally got to me that cooked food is an addiction. And then I started to make research, and I found out that cooked food is an addiction. And then I have created this program that I called 12 Steps to Raw Foods. And when I started to exercise that program, then I started to have really good results. I would go everywhere, different states, different parts of the world, and I would teach 12 steps to raw food, and people will begin to stay on raw food. Literally, they will begin to survive on raw food. Even their husbands and wives are eating cooked food. They started to be raw. And I think that this is my spiritual mission, this is my way, this is my path, and I'm sticking to that. Today I know that cooked food is addictive on 4 levels. I will briefly repeat it. I went into details yesterday in introductory class, but some of you didn't come, so I'm going to briefly repeat that. Cooked food is addictive on chemical level because all carbohydrates, when they cooked, turn chemically into sucrose, into white sugar. And white sugar is very addictive substance. Everybody knows that. You can read the book Sugar Blues, and you will see there proof beyond any doubt that white sugar is addictive. So when we eat cooked carbohydrates, it looks like it's brown rice. It looks like it's baked squash, organic squash. It has different texture, but if you will really look in a huge microscope, electronic microscope, you will see that the structure of that chemical structure is sucrose, white sugar. Okay, that is why all international cuisines are based on cooked carbohydrates. Okay, so that's just one level, chemical level of addiction to cooked food. The next one is the biological level, the chemical, biological, mental, and spiritual. So the second one is biological. We were all already been raw fooders in our lifetime when we were just born, because our mother was feeding us raw breast milk. She did not steam it. She did not pasteurize it. In fact, if you would drink pasteurized, you wouldn't be as healthy. So you already were on raw food in your life. And some people testified yesterday that they've been on just breast milk for a year or 2. So you already been raw fooders for a year and 2 in your life, straight, 100% raw fooders with no problem. And then your pediatrician told your mother that you need to begin to feed your baby cooked food. And your mother brought some colorful bottle with 18 months of life shelf and put you on a special chair and put you in your bib, and your father was there with the camera, remember? And then she said, open your mouth, baby. And you open your mouth. But as soon as the cooked food touched your tongue, your body said no. The body recognized the harmful taste of cooked food in there, and the body said, oh no, it will take you a long time to get rid of that havoc. You'll never be the same. Don't do that. And so the baby did this, right? And then mother said, okay, father, hold the baby. And then they forced it into you. And then you spit it out. And they did it again. You did it again. That's what babies do when they fed cooked food first time in their life. But then mother was persistent, and you were hooked on cooked food. And since then, it became part of your life. You cannot imagine living without it, and it's really very hard to make that step. So that's biological level of addiction to cooked food. And I want to remind you that the good news is that if you only stay for 2 months raw, 100%, your body is capable of flipping back. And your body will actually produce only juices that are needed for raw food diet, which is much less. According to Dr. Zalmanov, who published the book Sacred Wisdom of Human Body, when we eat 3 cooked meals a day, our body produces 2 gallons of digestive juices per day. When we eat raw food, it's somewhere roughly around 2 cups, 2 gallons, 2 cups, huge difference. To produce 2 gallons, it takes about 70 to 80% of our entire energy. So whenever you stay 2 months on raw food, your body flips back to become a raw food body, and then you produce less digestive juices. How many of you have noticed that you produce less juices, that you don't salivate, that you don't have no growling anymore? How many of you? Raise your hand. Look around. See, there are several people. I'm not lying. I'm not making it up. It's true. Okay, and then the next level is mental level of addiction to cooked food. Because we live in a stressful world. We have lots of stress every day. And we were not educated how to handle the stress. Nobody ever told you when you were a child, maybe some exceptions, but nobody told you, hey, whenever you have stress, go for a walk. And just go for a walk.